Hello, this video is aimed at presenting you our brand performance case study on the yogurt brand called THISE. So, first of all, you have our table of content to show you which slide we will present today and on which brand metric we decided to focus on. First of all, you have our data overview, which is like the way we decided to clean our data in order to make it easy to calculate our brand metric. So we can see like we decided to filter out incomplete answer, lack of consent, or respondent not living in Denmark who are not relevant, and thus we find 71 observation instead of the 121 observation at the beginning. So let's focus on the data overview demographics to begin. It's very interesting, pointing out that a lot of people who answered this survey are actually very young, between 18 and 24 in this case, or between 25 and 29 also. So it's a very young population. Let's now have a look at the yogurt consumption frequency in comparison with the total yogurt consumption frequency. So we can see that the brand is very performant in frequent purchase case. In fact, for instance, on the, I don't know, like on the 36%, we can see we buy yogurt once a week at least. 8% are a consumer of this brand, so it's a very good metric and a very good score. Let's now focus on the brand metrics, which is a very important part of our presentation. First, we have our market share, a number of 6.8%. So the unit market share has been calculated by monthly unit sales by the brand on monthly unit sales of the world market. It makes made it possible for us to find this number. And now let's focus on the brand penetration, which is actually of 17.9%. And to find it, we divided the total number of people that bought THISE at least once in the last year by the total number of respondents that have bought yogurts at least once. And at least we have the brand recognition and it's the brand recognition was calculated as a number of times THISE was marked as a known brand in the question from the list of yogurt brand below, which one do you recognize? And we divided this by the total number of respondents in the clean data, which is 71. So let's now move to recall and recognition metrics. So the first one is a no aided recognition or no aided awareness, who is also called in the Keller article brand recall, and this has been measured by asking people to name brand within the yogurt category without giving them any clues. And so we can see like for 4 people call it as the first brand they know, for instance. And the second tab is about aided recognition, also called aided awareness or brand recognition. And it has been measuring providing people with the THISE logo and asking them if they recognize the brand. And this gives us like this number of 46% of the respondents who recognize the THISE logo, which is actually okay. Now let's move on the analysis of attribute deviation. So it is aimed at see like how people perceive the brand and what is the brand image of the THISE compared to what it was predicted by the deviation model. So the blue number correspond to when people are actually evaluated more um, associations that predicted, and the red one is when less people associated the brand with the given attribute than predicted. For instance, this means that TIV has positive deviation in terms of superior quality. We can see it here. In terms of also being associated with different flavor and also being authentic. It has a very good deviation rate of authenticity, and that but the THISE scores less on being associated with having different flavor and being available in the store, because less people are giving this association that predicted. Let's now focus on the attribute deviation of the buyer of the brand, those who declare to buy this brand compared to the non-buyers, because it can be very interesting to see how non-buyers perceive the brand image in order to prompt them to fix it and prompt them into buying our brand. And so the highest deviation are highlighted. So this area we have to focus are more apparent. So we have to focus it is very well because the non-buyer trusts the brand and use for breakfast consumption. But it is we can see in the table that the deviation is quite high in terms of teas not having good flavor and functional packaging in the eye of non-buyers, so we have to fix it to prompt them into buying the brand. Now, and to conclude, we will focus on our recommendation. The brand metrics show relatively high awareness regarding the brand, yet low marked penetration, which is a good thing. But one reason for this could be their presence only on the shelves of certain retailer. Hence, increasing store availability will be a measure that could improve the current situation. Also, they could promote the fact that the products are organic and the flavor variety, which was perceived by the consumer when it came to the association and to the brand image in a killer sense. Furthermore, customer satisfaction evaluation through interviews should be conducted in order to determine customer preferences and to adapt their demand, which will impact positively on our NPS. Here is the end of our presentation, and thank you very much for your attention during this presentation.